You're my own cameraman today. Hey, welcome. This is Betty Smith with Sauter County Daily News. We're doing season 2, show 4 with the this week's review preview, and I have the pleasure today to be with Dr. Probaznik from King's Daughters Family Medical Center. Is that a good way to put that?
That is.
Okay, and and I'm very glad to have you on the show today. We have been trying for a month now to try to get someone in and talk about some of the health things. You know, it's the new year. Okay. So I'm going to kind of toss it to you. And if you would like to give me some details, like some things you might refer, like if I was going out to dinner.
Okay. Well, if you're going out to dinner, it depends on where you're going to. Certainly fast food, pizza, or more of a sit-down type dinner.
Okay.
And one of the things that you can look on all the menus, regardless of where, is the calorie counts. And they're all required by law to list the calories of every item on the menu. And so you can kind of judge how much you should be eating. You know, if the average person should use 2,000 calories as an average diet for a day, then you can determine how much you should be eating at that meal and break those 2,000 calories up.
Especially when, you got Valentine's Day coming up and everybody likes to go out and eat or spend it with their special someone. and that's why I think of those things,
And that does make it more difficult because, A, you don't want to save all 2,000 calories up for dinner. You do want to split them up during the day. And then when you do go out for that special dinner, and again, as long as you don't have lots of special dinners, you can fudge a little bit.
So have like a cheat day? Are we allowed cheat days?
Have a cheat day as long as it's not every day.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, some of the, I don't know if you had an opportunity, I left some flyers. Was there any recommendations on some of the restaurants that you thought stood out with, like you were saying, with the menu and...
Again, most of the flyers you have left, I mean, from the area, I've frequented some of those restaurants, mm-hmm. And for the most part, they're not healthy choices. They're tasteful choices, but not healthy. And again, it gets back to the occasional, the moderation, and portion size, is what you have to choose. Okay. Most of the restaurants in the area are fried and greasy foods. And so if you're looking for something, simple as a steak, baked potato, that's a reasonable, option for a meal. But the fast food places, for the most part, are not recommended.
Right. See, I'd be like, steak potato. It's good information, so that's what I always like about that. So I know you guys got some upcoming events, and so I would like to ask about that. I know, like I said, January's kind of coming to an end, and we all talked about resolutions and trying to look better or better our finances, and everything's like a work in progress. But February, what is the big thing that you guys do in February?
February's Heart Month, I believe.
Okay.
So again, it's more focused on heart health. And again, it gets back to diet. Heart health is diet oriented, and if we all followed a good diet, and a recommended diet would be either a vegetarian or a Mediterranean diet, and those have been actually shown over time to reverse atherosclerosis and heart disease.
Huh, that's good to know. Yeah, because I know, like with the whole hat day and stuff coming up, and the women also do the whole red hat. So
the red hats, right?
Yeah. So with with it also being the first of the year, and I know a lot of times we just think going to the doctor because we're sick. What is some things that you could advise that people come to you for?
It's better to certainly we're available when you're sick, and that's what we do. But again, our goal is to keep you from getting sick. And again, that's better for your long-term health and mortality. And so coming to the doctor, it depends on age and depends on health issues. But if you're a relatively healthy person, we should see at least once a year. There are maintenance things that we should do, and just check blood pressure and check weight and things along those lines, just to monitor that so problems don't get out of hand.
Okay.
And again, the older you get, then the more frequent your visits become, or if you have chronic disease issues, such as diabetes, blood pressure problems, then we check you more regularly to keep those problems in check.
Man, that's a long list for me. Because I kind of tease behind the scenes because I have that big 50 birthday coming up this year, so I kind of worry about some of the things that I should be in line with.
Well, see, the good news is at 50 birthday, all those health screenings and health maintenance issues, they're dropping to even 45 now.
Oh, okay.
So that, colon cancer or colon screenings were always 50, and now recommendations are 45. So you're behind.
Well, unfortunately, I've already had to do that. I've already been on top of that. But so last but least, because again, we're here with Dr. Provaznik from King's Daughters, and we're here at the Doctor's Inn in Willersburg. I guess what I want to follow up with, or kind of say, is for people to come to you, how do they reach you? Or
I tell people again, we're the only Provaznik in the phone book. So it's easy to find the phone number. Certainly calling King's Daughters, they can connect us to there also.
Oh, okay.
So the direct calls or through King's Daughters.
So are taking open clients at the time, or right at the moment?
Oh, I always enjoy new patients. It keeps things fresh for me.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Always good to see fresh problems.
Keep it lively. All right, well, I'm going to shake your hand, and thank you for that. And then I'm going to introduce Mark Craycraft into the room, unless he had anything extra to add.
No, I just thank you very much for your time and for being able to do this.
Oh, glad to get information on health out. That's the whole goal, and the goal of health is to make you feel better and enjoy things more. That's the goal of health.
I told you we will look for maybe some upcoming events, because they got Heart Health coming up in February.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good.
Excited.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate your time. We know it's very valuable,
Mm-hmm.
and very, very much appreciate it. I got this mole on my back. Can you take a look at that real quick?
Well, I'll do is I'll trade you. I'm going to trade you places so Mark can sit here and.
All right.
And
hopefully, we're not going to look at the mole while you're sitting here.
Right. And then do you want to stay in or do you want to go? It's totally up to you.
Oh, I can see the chair.
He said, I can answer.
Whatever you want to do. Sometimes people like to hang, and some people.
I'll listen to see what you got.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
Fantastic.
definitely.
Well, hi, Betty.
Hello, Mark. How are you today?
I am fat and sassy, thank you.
So you just missed out on some of the valuable parts here, but at least you can go back and watch it again.
Well, if I'm honest, I'm on a 10-day fast, and I want in day 5, and so, and when we're watching TV, and we're trying to fast forward, you know how you do, and there's always some blessed cheeseburger or something on there. I'm like,
I told him I'm a steak potato person, so
yeah.
always have to do that in moderation, right?
Apparently, by the looks of the thing, they always say fat people are lazy, but this took a lot of work, I'm telling you.
Oh.
So, let's talk about some previews. What's coming up?
Well, I was going to go in just a little bit of a review.
Okay.
Again, I just want to put a shout out to some of our sports fans, just to not only remember the Kobe Bryant and the people from the helicopter crash, but also the Marines that had the accident as well on the same day. So kind of things overshadowed each other.
They did.
So I just wanted to, I know a lot of the media has put a lot of that stuff out there. So we just want to say, condolences and, hopefully moving forward and they'll get some resolution to all of that.
It was, we ran, and I'm glad you brought that up. We ran what's called a raw feed, as opposed to either writing a story or giving a feed from AP or someplace where they have a lot of commentary and bias. So we actually gave our viewers what the news looks at. So that's why, and I try to do that when we can. That way, so there's not a lot of commentary, there's not a lot of talking, because the news will take that and make a snippet out of it and then talk over top of it. So they know, so you'll actually hear the cameraman jostling for position or what about this or talking on the phone. And one way it's kind of neat because you kind of hear behind the scenes of how we gather news, you know. But the other reason I like to do it is you get to see all the raw footage coming in that you'll see little clips of later. So it just kind of gives more information and less, you know, jabber and you know.
And that was on the Sauter County Daily News site.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
well, actually, we put it on Facebook, on the Facebook group, because just the sharing capability was a lot easier because we don't have streaming up yet on the website, so it was on the Facebook group.
Well, and that's why. So I'm glad that I mentioned that and kind of covered that a little bit. The other thing, just to go over review, because I know we're going to kind of jump into birthdays and shout outs and then just go into the preview, is I want to remind everybody about their dog tags. They've only got a couple days left. And as of what I was told by the director of the dog pound, they said actually that starts January 1st, but they give everybody that opportunity till January 31st to get those tags. Because if not, well, here's two things that happen. February 1st, it goes up to $24 per animal, per dog. And now the county has 2 wardens. I don't know if everybody caught that on that last interview, but they do have 2 wardens now. And if you get a dog complaint or somebody comes out about your animal, it can be $150 per dog. So I don't think anybody wants to pay $150 per dog.
No.
So try to save people money and remind them that, and of course you can get them at the clerk of courts, I believe, and at the dog pound as well.
So you can get them at 2 spots.
And I want to say Sierra Haven as well sells the dog tags, but
You know, if you're in a larger town, sometimes even cities have permits on top of what we have as a county permit, I believe, right? So, and the fees can be pretty exorbitant. So, it's retroactive. So just right now, it's how much?
it's $12 right now.
And then in a couple of days,
It's
gonna
$24
24.
per animal. Yeah. Or if you get a complaint and they come out for your dog, it's $150.
Well, let's think
And I
about
don't
that, friends.
So
Are they going to have?
I know a lot of dog lovers out there, so that's why we're
Are they
reiterating.
going to have extended hours for last minute shoppers?
Oh, actually, you can go online. I'm sorry, you can go online as well and do that. So if you're not able to get out and go to the actual physical place, you can do it online.
And while you're mentioning that, if your animal has a chip and you move, don't forget to notify the people that have registered the chip. We forgot that when we moved. Luckily, Benny didn't get lost, but it never crossed our mind. And it was probably a year and a half that we had moved, and it just dawned on us one day, you know, like a meteor out of the sky. It's like, wait a minute, you know. So while we're talking about that, remember, if you move, have the folks, if they've got the chip, update your records, because there's not a GPS in the dog. There's a chip in the dog.
They'll send it back to wherever you guys lived at previously.
Right.
Okay, so moving forward, let's talk about birthdays.
Birthdays. All right. Yesterday, one of our longtime subscribers, Maria Clifford Adams, celebrated her birthday. So happy birthday. Tomorrow is our good friend Lori Glaze.
Happy birthday, Lori.
We got to say her name twice. Also, Andrea Carr from the West Side, which is Andrea Carr Barnes now. Great friend from high school, and what a beautiful family they have. Oh, my Lord. Also, Sandra Packard. Janie Loper, her birthday is coming up. She is has been with us since day one of Sauter County Daily News, and she loves the Dirty Spoon. And so when she doesn't get a restaurant report or some kind of thing, I'll get a private message saying, well, what's going on with the restaurant report? So happy birthday, Janie. Mark Jenkins, very active member of our group, and also my good friend and subscriber, Joe Poole. He has a recording studio out off 139 as you're going back over Fort Hill Road. If you're on this side, we're in Wheelersburg now. If we're on the other side, he's got a really nice recording studio. And he even has a little miniature apartment. So if people are coming from out of town, you can stay all night because musicians have different hours. So happy birthday to Joe. I know it's been a struggle for you to make it finally to 142, but man, I'm telling you what, happy birthday. What do you have?
Ashley Rogers.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to her. She's a previous employee of mine, and she's now a nurse, and she's at Riverside, I want to say. So shout out to Ashley. I do her family picture for them a lot too. Outside Vanessa Whitaker, that's another person, high school person. So happy birthday to you as well. She just put out there today that her big 5-0s this next year coming up as well. So we're all like, oh my gosh, make some changes now.
Thus, hence the 10-day fast. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't think I can handle that.
They said
I should throw the doctor back and be like, do you recommend those? So yeah, that's my birthday shout outs for today.
So, before we get into upcoming news, I do have one review thing. We had, every Monday, we have reporters staff meeting, and we went over the numbers because it's the end of the month. Went over the numbers of the website and kind of what the response has been, and kind of analytics. Okay, and then something happened after the meeting that nobody knows about, and so I'm breaking this news now. That's actually a review. Okay. When the county commissioners gave the meeting and we released the number of the 48 million pills that were brought into Sauter County, and we dropped that story, you broke our site.
Oh no.
There were so many people. I mean, it was incredible. And thankfully, we had 8 developers, and we have 2 technicians that are going to stay on full time for maintenance and upgrades and adding different elements to the site. And there's still things we're working on. So all 3 of us were present and available when it went down. So the server just rebooted, and we were back up in 5 minutes.
Oh, well, that's good.
So that was really good. But when we were talking on the tech side, they said, well, now we know where the edge is.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for breaking our site. That was actually a very good thing. Because it let us know that the people were responding. It let us know that there's an interest. And I'm not going to tell you how many people were on the site simultaneously, but it was incredible. So it was, yeah. So the site went down. The servers rebooted, and we were back in business.
That's like a disaster recovery plan.
Yeah. So
I'm sure they talked to you about that.
So we had a backup plan. We actually have 2 sites running side by side that people don't know. It's mirror site, and we were ready to switch over to that one. And the servers rebooted and everything came on, and we're like, all right, here we go. So thank y'all broke our site. Break it again.
We'll get some more stories out.
Yep, break it again. Fine by me. Okay, now we can do some previews.
One of the things will be Friday. We will be at the groundbreaking for the new hotel for Portsmouth.
Yes. And there's actually ground to be broke. They're digging. I see the equipment, so that's good. And how do you feel about another hotel in actual downtown? Everybody has an opinion, so what's your opinion?
Well, and I've mentioned this before on the show, I think it's progress, and I think that there's more to be offered than what a lot of people realize. And they don't also realize that when we have like the boat shows that are coming back, the river days, a lot of people come back to this as their hometown.
Right.
And it rejuvenates a lot of business. I got to see that firsthand last year when I covered the entire boat races and the river.
I don't remember.
So many people. And the strip of 2nd Street was just phenomenal. Right. It reminded you of being like in downtown High Street of Columbus, you know. Yeah. So I think it's great.
And trade days and a lot of different festivals. We have so many natives that come back to town, and there's been times when I lived away and I'd come back to town and I would forget that something was going on, and I'd try to book a room and they're like, we have no room. There's no room in the inn, you know. I'm like, what are you telling me, you know? I think it's a wonderful thing. If you notice on our website, we have a new motto, and it's progress inspires change. And so we are not here, our voice is to not change. We're not trying to push any agenda on anything. We're trying to help promote and let people know about the progress, and that progress will then in turn inspire change, and more people will come, and more things will happen, and more people will be inspired. So that is the motto that's actually on the website. When you go to it, it's written real light, and it's an homage back to our mother. That I'll tell you the story, and I'm only going to say it once, because when I talk about my mama, sometimes I cry, but I'm going to tell you once. She had, after she passed, and my brother was cleaning the computer desk area that she had, underneath the keyboard was a sticky note, and underneath that sticky note was a version of that. She said, "Fight for progress, don't fight for change."
That's good.
It's what she said on the sticky note. And so, to pay homage to Mama, we revamped it into a short little motto, and so now we call it Progress Inspires Change. But that was inspired by a little random sticky note we didn't even know existed that our mom had put underneath the.
See, us
keyboard.
Mama be instilling a whole bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah, a lot of Mama. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, and outside of that, we've just got some things, another show we're going to prepare for next Wednesday, and that's kind of where I'm at with everything today.
Good. We've got some, let's see here, where are we going to go? Later today, we have Ashta, our young adult correspondent, will be releasing a video called Are Easy Recipes Actually Easy? And I think that's an interesting thing, because I always say, well, this is the easiest thing in the world to do, right? So she takes one of these easy recipes and she tries it. And so you're going to have to watch. It's going to drop 4:45 today, and be on the lookout for it. Bolo it. And she's going to try one of these easy recipes and see just exactly how easy it is.
Is it going to be healthy?
It is healthy.
Okay.
It is healthy.
You got to pull that back in there,
Yeah, it's healthy. I'm trying to think. Only one slice of cheese, so therefore it's healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you wrap on that while I go back over here. And,
we're doing another thing preview-wise is we're about to release all of the biographies of the candidates that are running for local office. We always talk about local offices where government begins. So your trustees, your commissioners, your council members. This is if you're gonna vote, or if I'm not gonna register to vote because my vote doesn't matter. Well, when it comes to these offices, it absolutely does matter. We've got people in office that won by literally like 8 or 9 votes. So it is absolutely important to do that. So as we did with city council, as those candidates for the 5th ward came in and we did biographies on each one of those, we've got biographies that Nikki Blankenship has already done. And so we're in the process of getting those in, and those are take a little time and we'll get them in, and so be watching for that over the rest of the week and the weekend. Those biographies will start dropping, and so you'll learn more about the where they came from, what they're all about, personal stories, who they are, who are these people.
Right.
So we're going to be doing that coming up.
And then hopefully I can sit down live with them at some point, and
That's the plan. It's the 1-2 thing. So Nikki gets the writing, and then you turn the camera on, and so that's how we work. Y'all figuring out our formula.
All right, well, I'm going to leave the scene, Mark, so that way you can go into the spiel of choosing your Portsmouth.
It's not a spiel. It's a way of life. Listen, we appreciate everybody. Go onto the website and just do one simple thing. And that one simple thing is push the little button for notifications. You just to get the little notifications. But I appreciate everybody that has shared, and that's the reason why our website broke, is because we add that link to the post. So it's really easy to share. So people are sharing it in this group and that group and this group and this group. So your next thing you know, our 38,000 turns into 100,000 really quickly. And so that's where it all came from, and that's where we had the technical problem, which we have fixed and we're prepared for now. So just take a second and subscribe to the website, because if for no other reason, you're going to get the Sunday magazine. That's the only way to get the Sunday magazine. So and it's free, there's no charge. So just do that, and I would very much appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys that have been here since day one. We appreciate the people that came on today. We absolutely appreciate you and welcome you. And as we always say, choose your Portsmouth.
And thank you guys again.